93 Boxing, I'm back with another video. You see that tweet right there? The shit that I tweeted? Yeah, because I tweeted that shit. I predicted that shit. I predicted that if this goes to 12th round, if Garcia versus Porter fight goes to the 12th round, it will be controversial. I made it clear on my other videos where Danny Garcia and Sean Porter fight. I think it wasn't official. It wasn't announced to be official, but they were talking back and forth, and I made it clear that Danny Garcia would win the fight either by a knockout or by it could go to the decision, and if it does, it will be controversial. I made that clear. In many videos. The reason is because of this, and I've noticed something about boxing. Sean Porter is a guy that seems to do a lot more than what he actually does. Meaning, he has this high work rate. He throws loads of punches. He threw about 300 punches more than Danny Garcia, I believe. But a lot of times he doesn't land, and when he does land, his opponents be rolling with this punches. And even if they're not rolling with it, they're blocking it or miss. They're just making him miss. They're making Porter miss. But people keep, and that's one of the reasons why I had Garcia winning. Garcia was landing the cleaner, effective shots. His shots were harder. His shots were cleaner, more crisper. A lot of these shots he caught Porter with, they were well timed. They were accurately placed, very accurately placed. Garcia was way more accurate with the shots. They were also, most of the shots Porter was not rolling with them either. But when it comes to Porter's effective work, Garcia was blocking them, partially blocking them, rolling with it. And they just weren't that hard of a punch like Garcia's were. So I thought, in my opinion, Garcia won the fight. And I try to explain that to boxing fans, but you know what they say? They say, oh yeah, but Porter outworked him. Now I want to talk about what does this outwork thing actually mean. Because people place too much importance on outworking someone than what should be placed, like what importance should be placed on. Like this, what I'm trying to say is this. How can you score Porter winning, right? How can you score him when, who cares if he landed, who cares if he threw more punches? It's about the punches landed. Garcia landed harder power shots. He landed better power shots, better accuracy. You look at a lot of these slow motions, and you have to look at, like, a lot of times Porter was throwing body shots and Garcia blocked a lot of them. Not all of them, but quite a good amount, a significant amount of them. But Garcia was landing some heavy body shots, man. Really, really good body shots. Sometimes stopping Porter on his tracks. And I really don't understand, like, how you gonna... This is what baffles me. It's kind of like Canelo and Triple G, where Triple G was doing more work, but it wasn't effective. He was missing a lot of shots. The shots he was landing was not clean, and it wasn't as hard as Canelo's. Canelo was rolling with a lot of shots, and Canelo shots did most damage. Same here. Danny Garcia, and actually, you know what? The Canelo Triple G fight was closer than this fight. This fight, Garcia should have won. It shouldn't even be close. I mean, you could say it's close, but it's more. I feel like it was more convincing that Garcia won than it was for Canelo to win versus Triple G in the first fight. Danny got, like, if it was a close fight, I wouldn't complain. Like, if it was a fight that wasn't convincing, but this was convincing. The first round, Danny Garcia won convincingly, landed clean shots, hard shots. Second round, I had Garcia winning. Some people have Porter winning. I don't see how you have Porter winning in that round. The thing about Porter, he has to land clean, effective shots. If boxing is not just about throwing a bunch of punches if they don't land, right? You don't just score them. In that case, the opponents shouldn't be fighting. They should just stand in front of each other and then just throw as many punches as they can throughout the fight. That's not how boxing works. You have to land those shots, those effective shots. This scoring was bullshit. I don't care if they had 7-5. I can't remember the exact scorecards. But there's no way Sean Porter won, man. There's no way. Boxing needs to not value work rate as much if it's not effective, if it's not landing. Who cares about punches being thrown if it's not landing? I think if you Google the criteria for boxing judging, you're going to find certain things, right? Effective aggression, effective aggression, effective punches landing, defense, and ring generalship. And I'll say this before I get into the rounds of who I think won what. I'm gonna make this clear, okay? Effective aggression. You could say Porter was aggressive. Was he effective? At times he was, at times he wasn't. I wouldn't say he was very effective, to be honest. He wasn't landing Garcia with too many clean shots, and their game plan was to basically put Garcia on the ropes, and they didn't really put Garcia on the ropes if you look at it, right? So his aggression wasn't effective. I've seen Garcia back up Porter a lot of times. Considering that Garcia is the counter puncher, that was impressive. But if you want to edge out the Porter for effective aggression, you can. I think it's 50-50. Ring generalship, I definitely give that to Garcia, because Garcia kept that. Like, he actually you could kind of give it like to Porter, but it's a 50-50 thing again. Porter was dictating the pace for most part, but Garcia was dictating where the fight is taking place in the ring. Garcia made the fight be in the center of the ring. Porter was trying to make it, when he was trying to come forward, Garcia was stopping him from coming forward. A lot of times. Ring generalship, and that's effective aggression. When Garcia was, when Porter was trying to come forward and Garcia landed those body shots, those head shots, he was stopping Porter on his tracks at times. That's effective aggression. When your punches are landing, and when you're being aggressive and backing your opponent up by landing the punches. Then there's defense. Danny Garcia had better defense, no ifs and buts. He made Porter miss a lot. And finally, you had the effective work rate and things like that. The punches that are landed. Danny Garcia landed the better shots, the cleaner shots, the harder shots. You don't just score punches just because they're thrown. If they're not landed. I don't understand why people think, oh, he outworked him. What does that even mean? What does just outworking someone even fucking mean? Like, the reason why I'm saying this is because I feel like this sport is ruined by the fans, not necessarily the fighters for ducking. The fans don't get enough credit. The fans don't know shit about boxing. And I feel like, to an extent, when you even speak to some of these fans to express your opinion, even if they disagree respectfully, like, some disagree respectfully, but there's quite a good amount who just don't even want to hear what you have to say, like, in an open mind. Boxing fans are ruining boxing, in my opinion. Danny Garcia clearly won this fight. I'll repeat this. He landed the cleaner shots. Porter's work wasn't effective. He was missing a lot. His work, and here's the thing people say, yeah? Oh, Porter was up on his chest, smothering his work. When Porter smothers his opponent's work, he actually smothers his own work as well for most part. So how are you going to score that? Yeah, he's making it difficult for Garcia, but it's not like Porter is able to get off any work himself. You could kind of claim that Thurman beat Garcia easily, but Porter definitely didn't beat Garcia. He definitely didn't beat Garcia, man. There's no way. Porter didn't land that many effective shots, man. He really didn't. He landed some good body shots, but Garcia landed more effective body shots. He landed more accurate body shots where Porter wasn't blocking them. And he landed way more headshots, man. Way more headshots. I was impressed with Garcia. I was very impressed with Garcia. Garcia being a slow starter won the first 3 rounds. Definitely won the first 3 rounds. Garcia, as I said, Garcia was dictating where the fight was taking place in the ring. He had better defense. He had better counters. He was coming forward at times. He was landing body shots. He was doing well. He was doing really, really well. He was landing the clean, effective, hard shots. I'm kind of disappointed with boxing in general, and the fact that not even one judge gave it to Garcia, when I believe this should have been a unanimous victory. I had 8-4 for Garcia. I'll explain it. First round, Garcia won easy. Second round, Garcia won. Some people had Porter winning the second round. I don't know how. I've watched the fight about 4 times by now. Porter did not do effective work to win the second round. Third round, I had Garcia winning as well. Fourth round, I gave it to Porter. Fifth round, Garcia for sure. Sixth, Porter. Seventh round, because people keep complaining that I'm anti-Porter. So because they wouldn't cry, I gave it to Porter, even though it could have. I actually wanted to give it a draw, but I gave it to Porter to keep people happy. In case if they cry, if I gave it to Garcia. So yeah, I gave it to Porter. Then round 8, that was a Garcia round in my opinion. Round 9 was definitely Garcia round, and round 10 was a Garcia round as well. Round 11 was a Garcia. No, round 11 was a Porter round in my opinion. I gave it to Porter. I don't think Garcia landed enough work on that round, as he didn't do in the 6th and the 4th. Round 12, I gave it to Garcia. He just did enough work. He did more than enough work in that fight. I thought Thurman beat Porter in a more competitive fight than Garcia did. Honestly, it was competitive, but it was like Garcia beat Porter easier than Brook or Thurman. Like, it's crazy. Thurman gets the decision against Porter, but Garcia doesn't. It's because Thurman was outworked as well as Garcia. He was outworked as well as Garcia. And I believe Porter landed about 5 more punches than Thurman. And Thurman, he was being pushed around the ring everywhere, onto the ropes, onto everywhere. And Garcia didn't. He controlled where the fight was taking place. He landed clean, effective shots. He wasn't defensively as sloppy as Thurman was, in my opinion. I mean, Thurman did land a bit harder shots, maybe. But Garcia landed enough good shots, man. I feel like he won the fight easier than Kell Brook, more comfortably, more convincingly than Kell Brook did. And Thurman did. I thought this was the most convincing loss of Sean Porter. Let me know what you think. Don't forget to comment down below. Subscribe to my channel, 93 Boxing. I'm out.